Hey guys, what's up? This is my presentation. I'm just gonna try and do it in one cut. So it might be a little shaky, but we'll try it. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about my background and specifically how that ties into the designer I am now. So that's kind of my focus. So I grew up in the country, on an old farmstead, and was always building stuff, hanging out with my two younger brothers, drawing, and we were all homeschooled. So that allowed us to really pursue the things we were interested in. So this next photo is indicative of most of my childhood. I feel like I could probably stop the presentation here and just say, this is me. But yeah, we were able to pursue stuff we were interested in with the support of our parents and do a lot of reading and just hanging out together. Here's some more examples. We had a bunch of chickens, building dangerous ramps out by the barn, and really just exploring and growing. So I've always loved making stuff. Working with my hands started early. So as you can see, Duplo blocks at the beginning, and this eventually evolved into more complicated things. So my dad was really into remote control gliders, and I kind of adopted this um, as an adolescent. And so you have to build these things, and then you have to deal with all the technology of controlling them, and they don't have motors, and so you fly them, you launch them, and then you have to find the thermals and fly them up. And so it's very much about the relationship between technology and the natural world. So it's pretty interesting. Again, just building stuff all the time. So here, my dad and I built this sailboat when I was 12. And then here's another example of one of the many, many airplanes we built. This one's super light. You can see the gram scale there. It's 1.5 grams. Just a delicate little butterfly airplane that we fly indoors. So when I got to high school, it was all about music, work, and soccer. I started playing piano when I was 10, and that in a lot of ways kind of overshadowed the drawing I had been doing and the more artistic things. Music kind of became my main form of expression. And again, homeschooling was really nice because I was able to work. I've worked outside the house since I was 13 in a lot of different blue collar jobs. And then I was able to pursue music very aggressively. So I was part of a jazz band, and I also led worship for my church. And then I also, junior and senior year of high school, I had 12 piano students who I taught weekly. And so at one point, I think I was driving about an hour and a half a day just to go to the lessons. Yeah, so then halfway through high school, I got turned on to industrial design because I took this Udacity online course on the design of everyday things. And I really just kind of realized that product design is kind of what I've been doing my whole life, so why not? So I didn't even end up applying to music school in high school, so I ended up just applying to design schools, and miraculously I got into CCS, and the rest is kind of history. So I've been super blessed to work with a couple of different companies while I've been here, and yeah, super thankful for it and looking forward to what comes next. Most recently, I was at Garmin, and I think one of the things I learned there is, at school we often make projects that try to kind of show off our abilities to potential employers, and try to be like clever or reinvent the wheel or something. And I think if you start with the problem and you work it through, oftentimes you'll get a clever solution or just an appropriate solution. But if you start with like a clever idea, you often end up with more problems. And so I think I experienced this while I was at Garmin, and I think that it's definitely something that you have to learn in the real world, it's not about you. It's not about showing your abilities. It's about solving the problem for the end user or the company you're working for or whoever the stakeholders are. And so, yeah, getting rid of the ego in design is something I need to work on. So Vincenzo also put a question up asking kind of like what's unique about what you bring to the table. And so I think I have a pretty deep understanding of the built and natural world and how physical things interact that I think a lot of my peers maybe don't, just because of the upbringing. So I think in an increasingly artificial and technologically driven world, I can bring that like real life grit to the table. So where next? I'm itching to get out of the country. I actually had an internship scheduled for this past summer in Singapore, and it got canceled due to COVID. So hoping that I can get out of the country soon, but we'll see what happens. I'm open to whatever comes next. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm eager to hear what everyone has to present.